Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning into Infauxmation. I have to apologize off the bat for my tardiness with this episode. I was out in Los Angeles, and I didn't bring my hard drive, and so I couldn't post it. So I do apologize, but hey, we're here. It's Thursday. Thanks for downloading our show. Please follow us on all social media outlets. We have a great episode for you today. Rachel Weeks is in the studio today. Really good time. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the episode. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to Infauxmation. My name is Brent Gill. I am your host for the show today. That right there, we are listening to our newest, as you know, I have no rhyme or reason to my intro music here. That is La Primavera by Manu Chao. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of the album, but it's excellent. Just check out La Primavera. Hell yeah. Well, welcome to the show. We have a fantastic show for tonight. We have 3 great stories, including a Czech power plant that chooses its interns based on their quality performance in a bikini contest. We also have Salvador Dali getting dug up, and his mustache is fucking weird. Also, our third story and final one of the day is going to be true love found in prison when a woman tries to sneak her boyfriend out of prison in a fucking suitcase. That right there is true love, and this is Infauxmation. So stupid. All right. Welcome to the show. My guest host today is Rachel Weeks. Rachel, hello. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
How was your day so far?
Good.
All right?
Good. Yeah, running errands. I had a job interview. It's been good.
Look at that. Look at that. I was talking yesterday to whoever it was literally yesterday, and I can't remember who was on the show, about Nathan Lund.
Right.
About a bank robber. Good friend,
Nathan
Very
Lund.
good friend, and I totally forgot his name and face. It's because he shaved it, and it looks weird now.
Yeah.
He
shaved it months ago. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't pay attention. I
Right.
kind of live in a weed haze for the majority of my life. We were talking about the bank robbing dude in Florida who robbed a bank to start his comedy career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a crazy
That's a pretty
story.
good one. Although I'm glad that you just decided to get a job instead of rob a bank.
Yeah.
But
a lot more consistent. You don't get health benefits when you rob banks.
No, you don't. Unless you get caught.
Unless you get caught,
But then you don't get the money.
And then you do. You get all sorts. You get the government spends like $46,000 a year on each inmate or something.
It's a lot.
It's an insane amount of money.
I got into the wrong business. I should have
was
gotten
gonna say.
into prison systems.
You mean
Maybe
running
not
running a prison system?
Maybe
That's
not
what
in
you
the
wanna
prison
get
system.
into.
I think it'd be cool. Yeah, just run. I get to choose what they do. Every prison would have a comedy night. It'd be great. Inmates we're forced to do their own comedy.
Inmates do comedy. You're not bringing in comedians.
No, inmates forced to do comedy for my pleasure.
This sounds less like a prison system and more like you just want to control, I don't know how many people are in a prison.
At least 1,000.
At least 1,000.
I would say at least 1,000.
Lives. I assume it's a men's prison.
Oh, it would probably be co-ed. I don't know.
Do they have those?
It's a new age. It's a new age prison. It's a
co-ed prisons.
It's a new thing that no one's heard of yet.
It's just like gender is fluid. Everybody gets to live together. Rapes go up a whole lot. That's something we're dealing with.
But other than that, that's just a side effect of prison systems.
I want to have a diverse comedy show, and that's more important to me than keeping my inmates safe.
Wow, this show got started off with a bang. Well, Rachel, I'm glad you're here. You have lived in Denver for how long?
It'll be 2 years in October, so almost 2 years.
And you moved here from Ames, Iowa?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines.
Yes.
Gotcha. And
the beautiful city of Des Moines.
Yeah, let's not go too far there.
Hey, I love Des Moines.
Why do you love Des Moines? Now, I shouldn't talk shit about Des Moines because I've only been to Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Not the same.
And another place in Iowa where there's a Hard Rock casino.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half north of Omaha. That's what I get of all Iowa is just that.
So, if you just went to Colorado Springs, that's the example of all of Colorado.
Oh, God.
Denver is just like Colorado Springs. No, it's Des Moines was great. I spent 6 years there. I went to college at Drake University.
It took you 6 years to graduate college?
No, I stayed some extra time.
Okay.
I was like, this place is great.
A lot of trees and shit?
A lot of trees and shit. There's a lot of trees and shit in the Midwest.
Okay.
Des Moines is a cool place. It's like, it's young and political, and
Gotcha.
it's made a lot of efforts to make it a cool and easy place to live.
Is it kind of like a Boulder is it kind of like a little, or like an Austin in the middle of Texas?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I mean, Iowa City is also really great as well.
I've
That's
heard
where
about that.
Iowa is. The University of Iowa, obviously, not the stage. Iowa City is where University of Iowa is. And Iowa City is gorgeous and like a very cool place to go to school.
Gotcha.
But Des Moines it's cool. It has a bunch of jobs available. It's very easy to live there.
Yeah.
My rent was half my rent here.
Holy shit.
Half. Yes.
Like straight up half.
Straight up half.
So what were you paying, like $200 a month out there?
No, I was paying
Well, we don't need to know what your rent. Good God.
I was paying $380.
Under $400.
And I was in a 2-bedroom, so our total 2-bedroom was like $750 or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would love a 2-bedroom place for $750.
Yeah, it was nuts. It wasn't a great 2-bedroom apartment, but the location was great, and I lived with a cool girl. It was fun.
Was it like right in the heart of like College Central?
No, but it was off of. It's kind of like living off of South Broadway. So I lived.
Oh, okay.
Like right on that street where there's a bunch
Yeah.
of restaurants and bars and shopping,
Music
and
venues
music
and a lot of cool young people.
Absolutely, yeah. I
Gotcha.
loved living in Des Moines.
So how did you fit in there? Because you're just kind of a nerd.
I am just kind of a nerd. It's cool. I mean, I started comedy there. Was the reason that I stayed longer.
Okay.
So as soon as I graduated college, because I did my first 2 mics in college.
Okay.
As soon as I graduated college, I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe 2 weeks after I graduated, I started going to mics twice a week because that's what we had.
Okay.
Was 2 a week.
So all of the shows.
You couldn't, and I went to every show. I was driving to Cedar Rapids, which is about 2 hours away for open mics. I was driving to Omaha for shows, which is also 2 hours away.
Now, are there other shows, like indie shows outside of Funny Bone in Omaha?
In Omaha? Yeah, for
There
sure.
are?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a pretty good scene there?
I think the Omaha scene is bigger than the Des Moines scene. I would say there's probably like 40 comics there, 50
Okay,
comics.
gotcha. How many? How long does it take to get you from Des Moines to Omaha?
2 hours.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
commitment. 2 hours one way.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah,
so
I
you
was
were drinking.
driving a
So you
lot.
do 4-hour round trips just to tell jokes.
Yeah.
In bars.
To do 5 minutes unpaid.
Yeah. That's
Oh, yeah.
commitment. I like that.
We all did it. I mean, if you wanted to get stage time, we drove to Kansas City once just to get stage time. That's like 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted it, you had to drive. I was doing improv for stage time, and I am terrible at improv. Yeah, I started taking improv and sketch writing classes. So that was twice a week. I would get on stage for that.
Yeah.
And then I do 2 open mics in Des Moines, and I usually had a show either in Des Moines or Cedar Rapids
Holy
or
shit.
Omaha.
Okay.
So I was getting on stage probably 6 times, doing various things
Gotcha.
and driving no less than 4 hours a week.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That sounds awful.
I was working 40 hours a week too. So
Well, but that's what you have to do. I've
That's
talked
what you have to do.
about this with countless comedians. Is you have to grind that out.
Yep.
Early.
and it's when you first start comedy and you're just obsessed.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's all you can think of. You're like, well, if that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do.
Right.
If I'm gonna get home at 2:30 in the morning
And then wake up at 6.
and then wake up at 6 to go to work and
Oh,
then
yeah.
go home and write jokes and go to a mic, that's
That's how you do it.
it. That's all your
right.
brain is thinking about.
And
So
that's why this isn't for everybody.
it's not.
It's fucking
really
brutal.
not. It's for maniacs.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You have to have some serious mental issues if you
Yeah.
are into doing this.
But that was the cool thing about Iowa is like people loved comedy, so they were gonna grind for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, what made you then decide to come here, to Denver? So I assume this is your first move from
This
there.
was my first move. Yeah.
Okay.
I was deciding between Denver and Chicago.
Okay.
My family's in Chicago, so that would have
Okay.
been an easy move. I grew up outside of Chicago.
Chicago's also a great comedy
also
city.
a great comedy scene.
Too bad you suck at improv.
Too bad I suck at improv. It would have been perfect. I did a lot of improv, and I was okay. But God, I was such a wimp. I was not brave enough for improv. But I was deciding between Chicago and Denver, and I knew a bunch of comics from both.
Yeah.
So I knew Zach Reinert and Preston Tompkins, who
Yep.
had moved from
From
Omaha
to
to
here, yeah.
Denver. And I knew like Dave Lasso, and
Yep.
I had met Sam Talent because they came through Des Moines on the road.
Yep.
And ultimately, I decided on Denver largely because it was something new.
Okay.
I was like, I've got no ties right now. I might
Because
as well try
you had
something
some
new.
experience in Chicago.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
And I'd done a couple of mics in Chicago.
Okay.
Honestly, the biggest reason is probably because Chicago scared me. Every time I did a mic there, I was like freaked out.
Like the city itself or the comedy scene?
The comedy scene. I loved
Really?
the city. Yeah, it felt overwhelming. There was a lot of people at mics, and everybody was jumping from mic to mic to mic, and everything just seemed really high pressure.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a place to grow.
Gotcha.
And I knew either one of those scenes would do that for
Sure.
me. So I ultimately picked Denver because it was new.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you did.
Yeah, I'm
We're
so happy I'm
very
here.
glad you did. It's great to have you here. Now, you've been here for 2 years now, and
Mm-hmm.
how... Because I always like to talk to people that have moved. How has your experience been, not starting over, but kind of starting over? Now, granted, you were only, what, 3, 4 years
I
into
was
it?
a year and a half in when I moved.
So that's not really counting as starting over, but like,
Yeah.
how does it feel to reintegrate yourself or to integrate yourself into a place you've never been before and you don't know anyone?
Sure.
Was that hard?
It was hard.
How long did it take before you felt comfortable here? Do you even feel comfortable here?
Sometimes. Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
There are some days where I feel really far from home because I am. I'm like 16 hours from most of my family.
Yeah.
But moving, it probably took me 6 months before I felt okay.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't because people weren't welcoming. It was just because it just takes time.
Right.
I think at that 6 month mark was like when I started getting asked to hang out.
Okay.
Like from when you get, like, because you see
Like,
people.
who is this person?
You see people at mics and you're like, all right, these people are people I can talk to at mics.
Yeah.
But it's like when you get, like, we should go see a movie or whatever together. Then I was like,
I have friends.
oh my God.
Or I have the chance to make friends? Don't
Yeah,
blow this, Rachel. Don't blow this.
No pressure. And I was living like pretty far outside the city. Not far, but I was in Sunnyside, so it was like 20 minutes into the city. I wasn't close to any mics or comics or
Yep.
anybody. And yeah, it just took me a while, probably 6 months. But during that time, I was grinding. You know, I was doing 8-9 mics a week.
What's that like? Well, I guess that's not quite. So you only did mics pretty much when you were gone, when you were in Ames or
In Des Moines.
In Des Moines.
I probably had 3 or 4 shows a month.
Okay.
That I was driving
actual
to.
shows?
Yeah, once I
Okay.
got established, like
Gotcha.
later. But when I moved, I was probably doing 3 or 4 shows a month.
Well, because I feel like you came in with a pretty big splash.
I tried to.
Yeah, I thought you did a pretty good job at that.
I worked really hard on that, so I appreciate that.
I feel like people picked up on you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And that's not very easy. I'm watching other folks who are moving here that are struggling with that ask me questions like, how the fuck do I do this? You know?
It's
and
hard.
it is. It's a bitch.
I mean, when I moved here, my biggest goal was to make it clear that I was serious about comedy.
Yep.
Because I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you're going to get booked if people know you're going to be around
Yep.
and you're going to be important and you're going to work to be
Yep.
good at it.
Yep.
So I showed up and I was doing like 8-9 mics a week. I was trying to be good at every mic. I was trying to watch a lot of the mics. I was trying to learn names quickly.
But that name thing's a challenge for me.
It's really tough.
Holy fuck.
It's tough, but when you watch a lot of the mics, you get them faster because they
I
say
can
their
see that.
names.
Yeah.
So I made a point to do that. And then on top of that, being a woman, I was like, I'm not sleeping with anybody for like a year. That was real.
There is nothing worse than sleeping with one. I think it's horrible to sleep in scene. Period.
Sure.
However, I can't say that I haven't done it.
Yep.
But I do think that's a very good call, and I think that is a common mistake that young people make in this industry, or at least in the comedy scene, is they're too young, and I think
Sure.
that older people kind of prey on that.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, because they don't know if it's like a fan thing or if this is like, and then they get turned off to comedy in general,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of a shitty thing.
It's really the worst that we can't Like, I mean,
No, granted, they initiate it too, but it just they don't know that information.
Yeah,
I
like,
feel like
ideally in a world, everybody could sleep with everybody and everybody could be mature and it wouldn't ruin anybody's career or anything. But that's not what's going to happen.
New York has proved that.
Generally, I think generally when, especially a young woman comic comes, they're looking for friends, and the fastest friends they're going to find are the guys that are trying to hook up with them.
Yep.
And then if it goes wrong, which it doesn't always, but if it goes wrong,
most times it does.
It's a big risk. You lose your only friends you have, and now you've made a place where you already feel weird more
Even
weird.
More weird, right?
And I don't want to, like, I would never be like, don't sleep with people. If you want to, like, go for it. But I'm just saying it's gonna go badly. It always does. I'm saying that as a person who has slept with comics and who has, like, done that, it's just gonna be weird. I mean, even in the best case scenario, it's going to be weird.
Oh yeah, I have just as many examples of when it wasn't as weird, and when it's just straight out like, okay, this should never have happened.
Yeah, and I mean,
like I've straight up ended friendships over it.
Right.
It's weird.
I mean, it's going to happen because we hang out all the time at bars late at night.
It's like
you're going to get drunk and
you're
hook up
fucking
with
your
people.
coworkers.
You're going
it's
to.
the same thing. Yeah.
But it's like if all of your coworkers hang out at a bar all the time, like,
and are always shit faced all the time,
it's gonna happen,
and are prone to making bad decisions.
Right, right. It's the exact soup for bad hookups. But that was what I did realize very quickly is, like, when I came in here, I was like, I'm not gonna hook up with anybody. That's important for at least a little while.
Yeah.
I wanted people to know me and know that I was funny.
Yeah.
Before they knew I was the girl who hooked up with XYZ. Because I was like,
smart.
That rumor's going to spread faster than me being a better comic.
Oh, yeah.
So that I was very purposeful about. But I also I had like a year-long dry spell because of it. So,
like, I don't know anyone, and I can't fuck the people that I'm hanging out with.
I work from home.
Oh, man.
All of my friends are comics, and I can't fuck comics. So...
Perfect.
Shit.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it was
Colfax,
hard for a
here
long
I come.
time. Yeah.
No, it's free. I just need to get laid.
Yeah. I mean, I could have done the online dating thing, but I was, like, pretty committed to doing comedy when I moved out here.
Right.
So that was it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It was.
And you're happy you're here.
I am happy I'm here. I think Denver is a super encouraging and warm place to do comedy. My favorite thing about Denver is Denver comics want to be funny because they want Denver to be funny.
Yes.
And they want other people in Denver to be funny because they want Denver to be funny. So it's competitive and encouraging because, like, they want
to lift
scene
this whole
to
scene
be a
to be
whole.
great. Yeah.
Whenever I was in Chicago or when I was in other scenes, it always felt like everybody wanted to be funnier than the person before them because that's how you get a job.
Sure.
Which makes sense.
Sure.
But that wasn't what I was looking for yet.
I gotcha.
Oops. I just threw a cat toy at Brent.
Not a cat toy. That is a Brent toy.
It is a Brent toy.
That is a wiffle ball, because when I'm working, I will take chip shots into my living room trash can.
Oh.
Yeah. I've
no
only
crumbled
made,
paper for you.
I have only made 3 in the however many tries I've been doing that for. It's very difficult to do that. But... well, we are glad to have you. I think you made the right choice too, and
Thank you.
And I think that's a good point that I hadn't heard before about Denver just wants to keep Denver's reputation up.
Yeah.
And we built this city on rock and roll. We built this reputation, and the people before us did, and I know that my group definitely wanted to continue that as well.
Yeah.
And I think that this next batch of comics, that's going to be the next pros here. I think really, again, it's not a I'm funniest, it's a Denver's great.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that is viewed by the rest of the country, but I think it's pretty cool.
That's what I always. I mean. I always felt like when I was in Chicago, people are like, stop moving here. And Denver was like, yeah, come. Let's do comedy together. I was like, all right, let's do it.
We're very nice here.
Yeah, it's fun. I've enjoyed it.
Plus, there's a lot of work here, too.
There's a lot of work. There's a lot of paid work.
A random city, there's a lot of work.
There's a lot of comics who work, who pay their bills with comedy, which is super inspiring and cool.
Yeah.
Also, there's professional female comics here.
Yes.
Which there were not in Des Moines.
Ah.
Yeah, the first female touring comic I saw was Bestelling, and we drove an hour and a half to see her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Over to where?
That was in Ames.
See, I knew Ames was part of this story somewhere.
Ames was, I mean, there was comedy in Ames. There was like 3 or 4 comics out there who ran a show at DG's Tap House.
Woo.
They have since moved to Austin and Chicago. A lot of Des Moines comics moved to Chicago.
It's close. I can see it. It's
like
a great
5
scene.
hours. Mm-hmm. It's
And
a great scene.
then from there, you go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like from Denver, everybody goes to LA.
You'd think, yeah.
That's what's it's proven so far, with the exception of 2 people.
Mm-hmm. You talking about Kevin Merrill?
I sure am.
Yeah.
Everyone else has gone. I mean, and I don't count Scott Sharp or Brett Hiker in there. For some reason, I don't count them in there. Because they've been there for so fucking long.
Yeah.
That I don't really feel like they got their chops here. They got their chops out
elsewhere.
in New York. Especially Scott. Scott won the contest here, got offered that job to manage the Laughing Devil. And just immediately, it was like, yeah, but you got to come in a week. And he's like, cool, done.
Okay.
And he did it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
This is, we're going to start the show with quite an interesting one. Now, we did this story on our live show as well, which if you want to check out live content, for now, you can go to YouTube and search Infauxmation. And this one is very true. And at first, I didn't think it was real, but it absolutely is. A Czech power plant had women compete in a bikini contest to get hired as interns. Yes, yes. Just that is as Czech as like if like when I heard this, I was like, where did this happen? This probably happened in like Eastern Europe.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a Simpsons plot. Like
something that Mr.
Power
Burns cooks
plant,
up.
Bikini contest.
Woohoo!
It just, oh gosh.
So basically, they had let's see, how many was it? Was it 8 or 10?
10.
They had 10 high school graduates, so at least they're legal. I mean, who knows what the age of consent is in the Czech Republic. But they had these 10 high school graduates compete in a bikini contest photo shoot to see who they would choose. Yeah. And they opened it up to the public as well, put it on Facebook, and even a local news station ran a whole segment on it to get more town involvement.
Well, they like put it on Facebook to get votes, and like the women who got the most, like, hell yeah, good traps or whatever.
Good on
like,
you, good traps.
Good. I don't know that's my muscle. It's the one muscle I know.
That's so nice that you went with traps first.
I could do abs.
Okay,
sure.
Tatas,
what are we talking about? Hey, look at the rack on that, Betty.
Even 1920? Good God.
So much pain.
That's the kind of shit you learn when you grow up in Des Moines, Iowa.
I didn't grow up in Des Moines.
Where'd you go? Oh, in Chicago?
Chicago.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago.
That makes more sense.
I can't claim Chicago.
Look at that little Betty. So if you look at this too, the pictures, which we will attach to the Facebook page link, the pictures here, they're in bikinis and hard hats, and they're taking these photos in an active power plant.
Yes, inside
of it.
Hard hats, because safety is important at this company. Safety is like third on our list, behind money and our dicks.
Goes money over dicks. Dicks over health.
Dicks over your safety. These women, do they have shoes on? I didn't even look.
You know what?
Are they wandering around a power plant without shoes on? Just shoeless?
God. I want to go to the main picture because there's some behind the scenes pictures here too.
Golly, it's just the craziest thing.
They do have shoes on.
Oh, good. Okay.
They do have shoes on, but they look like Chucks. So you know that they got a nice steel toe, thick rubber sole.
Steel toe Chucks.
Oh man, and there's only a few people in there. But I feel like their thought is, hey, you know what? They're 18. Their body can take a little radiation. Right?
Totally fine. Yeah, let's remove all of their protective.
Keep the photographers in the suits, though. Keep them in the hazmat suits.
Well, the way it looks like on the backdrop, it looks kind of like one of those grungy senior photos.
Yeah.
But this one is like real grunge. Like you might get tetanus.
Look at Annabelle, that whore. No, she just has. She's just dying of radiation poisoning.
Oh,
that's what's happening. That's not a tan.
She looks so thin though. Wasting away. Ugh.
Her skin looks milky white. So there was a huge, so there was not a huge outcry, which I think is hilarious. That here if this happened in America, people would be going ape shit
for real.
And then over there, they're like, nah, put it on the news. Let's get some more. Let's get some more attention to this. Let's do this.
It's so upsetting because like, it's a power plant. Like we need innovation at a power plant. Like we need a new form of energy. We need this like open thinking, and they're just like bikini contest. Nobody's done that before. Like,
great job, Bill. That's forward thinking right there.
Like we need to work. Like we need to be able to solve like this energy crisis. And all the guys at this Czech power plant are like, all right, let's get some new minds in here. No fatties though. You know, like, it's so awful.
Oh God, that's great. Also too, they were only competing for a 2-week position as an intern.
Yeah. What?
Just 2 weeks, unpaid.
Yeah. What they didn't say is you had to walk around for all those 2 weeks in the bikini while serving coffee and pretzel. God, it's just so sad. And that all these girls were like, sure.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
Sure, why not? They didn't, and the company eventually apologized about it too, because eventually it caught wind across the world, and they apologized for it. They're like, we didn't think we were doing anything wrong, which again is just I feel like is a perfect response in this day and age. Like, wait, I didn't know we couldn't do that.
Yeah. What?
We can't do that? Are you sure?
Like, but we were just trying something new. Just getting some new ideas in here. God. And the way they apologized.
Oh, this is great. Yeah.
They just, instead of giving it to one person like they had planned on,
yeah.
they just gave it to all 10 women. So these 10, now instead of one hot girl walking around the office, they have 10. They're like, we're so sorry.
Genius plan.
We'll take all 10.
You're all hired, but just for 2 weeks, though. After that, we're going to have another contest to see who gets to... We're going to see who gets to stick around by who stays hottest.
Oh, God.
Who's got the highest tolerance to radiation poisoning? You win!
Oh, God. They're putting out a costume for it. They're calling it Sexy Chernobyl.
Jesus. Look for it at a party city near you. A party city, a Halloween city.
What are those spirit? The spirit of Halloween.
Yeah. Maybe that's just a Colorado thing, though.
No, it was in Illinois.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I saw a spirit of Halloween car.
For me to go inside.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
They have a van?
No, it was a car. It was a Hyundai Tiburon. From like 2004.
I actually know that car.
The blue.
That's the one car. You could have listed any other car, and I would have no idea what it is. But I know what the Tiburon is.
That's a Des Moines classic right
there. Yeah. Spanish for shark. Come on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It has the gills on the side.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I wish LL Cool J was the spokesperson for that, since he did Deep Blue Sea and he made that song about sharks. I can't even remember the song. I want to see if I can find it now. Deep Blue Sea.
My aunt always wanted to drive it.
I just typed in SEE for sea.
Oh, good.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea.
The original motion picture with LL Cool J. It is not on Spotify. Well. Wah, wah. Anyway, I saw a Spirit Hyundai Tiburon.
Yeah.
Parked outside an apartment in Capitol Hill.
Huh.
And it looks old as fuck. It looks like someone bought the car from a Spirit.
Yeah.
And like they didn't take the shit
take
off.
The stickers
or
off.
they were an old manager and they're like, you know what, fuck this,
yeah.
and just left. And
you know what? If you worked at a Spirit and it went badly, which it obviously would,
it's a costume shop. Why
wouldn't it?
It's
Definitely going to be terrible. Right? You keep the car and you crash it into something important. Right?
And then you make your statement that way?
Yeah. Like, just give them a PR nightmare that they had like crash it into a school.
Or like the 10 Commandments.
Yeah. That's what you do. You take your company car.
The spirit of Halloween
you
and crash
destroy a religious monument.
And you tape it and put it on Twitter.
Yeah, no, you run away. You got to leave it on them.
Like, it wasn't me. No, well, hang on. Now, the spirit of Halloween does not condone this type of behavior. They start getting all sorts of hate mail.
Satanism is not inherent in our business code. I was in a spirit once with a bunch of friends. There was a machine by the checkout line, and it was just like one of those games, and I was poking at it. I didn't know how to play, but apparently I lost because it electrocuted me.
Oh shit!
Like it shocked
like a real
me.
shock?
Yeah, like went all the way up my arm and all the way down, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I didn't know what it was. I feel like it was broken, and it shouldn't be shocking that hard because it was so aggressive.
It's like worse than one of those electric fences. You're like, ah!
Yeah. Just piss my pants in line at Spirit.
What happened? I don't know. Oh, man. So you were scared of spirits, though?
I didn't like it. They always had, like, people dressed up in like, scream masks and stuff, and they would, like, sneak up on you in the store. I don't know if that was just our store, but, like, I hated it.
That would have been a perfect way to pass the time at such a shitty job.
Yeah.
Just put on random costumes and go
just
free. Like, there's customers just milling, and we're like, "Where does anybody work here?" And you just pop up in a scream mask. Can I help you?
I'm in the idea of a werewolf. just being like, "Rah! Can I help you find anything?" Oh, I was such a chicken. I hated everything.
Did you ever go to haunted houses when you were young?
No.
I hated haunted houses.
I really don't. I don't like them now.
I don't like being scared.
Me neither. I can't watch like horror movies.
Not a fan.
I'm like already very naturally jumpy. So for somebody to try to make me jump, it's like way too much. It's like not fun. Like I could go through a haunted house where people are just throwing bottles into recycling. It's terrifying. That's enough. That's maximum fear for me.
I can't do haunted houses. I think mostly because I can handle it, but I just get I know how they do it, and it pisses me off.
Yeah,
like I
hate that it works.
It's just loud noises. It's like quiet, and loud and abrupt and bright when it's just contrast is all it is. And I'm like, fuck you.
I know. I hate that it works. I hate that I can be so easily manipulated by like the same horror song that has been played in every horror movie.
Yeah,
still works.
You just hear strings just
like
You're like, fuck, I know it's coming. Be ready.
You're never
Wait,
ready.
is it coming? No, fuck, damn it.
That's what it is. It goes just long enough. It makes me so mad. I watched Get Out, and I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to handle it. And it was close for me.
Really?
It was great. Like, it's such a good movie.
You know, it's funny. I went to watch that movie with a couple comics, and the fire alarm went on.
Oh, no.
It went on right when the action was climaxing. So he's just escaped the chair, and the doctor is like, "Hey, Billy, what's going on?" And then the fire alarms start going off, and I was like, "Fuck, this really is RPX. This is the Regal experience here." And it cut off.
That's the same thing happened to me while I was watching Captain Phillips.
Really?
On the I thought it was like a
part
an
of the movie.
interactive experience.
I was like, holy shit, this is
like,
crazy.
Look at this. And then they were like, "No, Get Out for real though."
I thought it was.
Did they let you finish the movie?
Well, they tried. And then it didn't work. And then they got to the next showing, and they're like, "It's just canceled. Here's some passes."
Oh man!
And so I have never seen the end of the movie. Like I know what happened. I mean, I can assume what happens, but
yeah.
Right when I'm like, I sat through an hour of prep.
Yeah.
For a 30-minute release, and I didn't get shit.
Nothing. Oh God, I would have to like.
Ultimate movie blue balls.
Yeah,
it was the worst.
We're totally blue balls.
It was the worst.
Ugh.
Here's some free passes for next time.
Well, what am I going to watch next time? How about the rest of the movie I wanted to watch?
Now I just want to go back and just like watch Baby Driver or something, some other movie.
For sure.
I really want to see that because I'm a nerd when it comes to cars.
It's really fun.
Is it?
It's fun if you like cars.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
The plot is kind of weak, but it's like. The car chases are really fun.
It's just a reason for them to have all these car chases, basically.
Definitely. Yeah. It's a car commercial for real, but it's super fun.
How many different cars are there? So the Subaru is the main car, and
then
I saw a Dodge Challenger.
Hyundai Tiburons.
Oh, Spirit of Halloween on the side of him.
No, it's really fun. The action scene at the end is really rad. Like,
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guns, and John Hamm does a great job.
Nice.
And Jamie Foxx is fun, but he's not in it as much as
you'd
they think as you think he is.
Because he's in all the commercials.
All of them. He is a minor character comparative to the commercials.
And John Hamm is the bad guy?
Eventually.
Or is he part of the group?
He's part of the group.
And then eventually he becomes bad.
Things go bad.
He
real
probably
bad.
gets estranged and he's like, "No, I'm going to take all this money." And then they got to go fight him.
Always,
and just like
that's how
every
it
other.
goes.
Yeah, I'm all about this.
Yeah, it's
I like
really
easy
fun.
movies.
It's super easy.
I like that.
I got in a conversation with another comic who was like, "It's terrible. It's the worst movie I've ever seen." And I was like, "Okay, it is not meant to be the best movie you've ever seen.
Trust me, it's
a
not The Room.
It's about a getaway driver."
Yeah, right?
Did
it's
you
called
expect-
Baby Driver.
Yeah, it's not a movie, like, it's not a masterpiece. It's fun. Just watch it because it's fun.
No, it's garbage.
Yeah, he wanted to fight about it, and I was not.
Man.
I was like, I don't feel passionately enough about this movie to fight you on it. But it was fun. I enjoyed it.
All right, well, let's move on to the next story. We are going to go over... God, I actually don't even know where he was buried at.
I assume Spain.
Old Salvi. So Salvador Dali, for those of you who have not been following... Is it Dali or Dali?
Dali.
I like Dali.
Dali!
Underlay, mama, ia, Dali! What's... All right.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali is in this massive paternity fight. Yes, he
he's
is.
not.
He is dead. But his one of his estranged lovers,
Maybe
we don't know, is claiming that he is her father.
her daughter. So his estranged lover's daughter is claiming that.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Something. Yeah. This one's a doozy.
His ex-lover, who is 89 years old,
is saying that her daughter is Salvador's daughter of his cloth, of his seed, if you will. Oh, I should have stuck with cloth.
Gross. Cloth is way better.
Cloth is way better.
Seed cloth. Also
Even
gross.
worse. Even worse, actually. So apparently, so because of this, they dug up, as ordered by a Madrid court, they have dug up Dali's body to grab some genetic material so they could test this. So after 30 years of being in the grave, they dug him up, and they were going to take parts off of him.
Just gonna pull some parts.
We're gonna pull some parts like it's a
Grab
scrapyard.
whatever you can find.
You pull it, you pay for it.
Oh God. So you pay for it by the ounce.
Yeah. So
Crazy. It's like $20 an ounce for bits of Dali.
For 30-year-old Dali bits.
Gross.
Oh boy. So all right, so they dug him up, and they pulled open his coffin, and he had a really nice silk handkerchief over his face. I'm saying nothing correct today. A handkerchief over his face, and when they pulled it off, they noticed that his mustache was still perfectly intact after 30 years, exactly how he wanted. So all of his skin is dehydrated and decomposing, and he's getting all gross. But that fucking mustache, still at 10 past 10, just curled up like the boss-ass motherfucker that he is.
He couldn't have planned it better.
He's looking down from heaven. He's like, fuck yeah, it is.
If he did a painting of his decomposing body, that's exactly what it would look like.
It's true. His cheeks would be like pulled back like the clocks of time, but his fucking mustache is perfect.
Perfect. Oh my God. I want to know where he gets his hair gel, because that's amazing.
That can't be LA looks.
No, that is some petroleum level.
That's probably, that's probably what killed him, is he kept using that shit. Yeah. And it can't be healthy.
Just huffing fumes.
Just for
days. His whole career.
That's why he painted shit like that, because he was high as fuck from his mustache.
I mean, it has to be heavy duty
It's
to
gotta
like
be.
not suffer any damage from 30 years.
Nothing. It's and the guy, the guy who prepared him too was like, "It's a miracle, it's a miracle." So,
Well, he said it's a miracle as if like from God. That like
Yeah.
God wanted his mustache to
be
remain
perfect.
intact. I just wish this is a really morbid hair gel commercial. You know,
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
where they're just like 30 years later,
Our hair gel
L'Oreal will still be working for you.
You can still look your best even when you're at your worst.
Skin falling off, us too. Keep your hair on lock. God, it's so crazy.
Unlock at 10 past 10 with all new L'Oreal's Dali.
Like, I feel like Brooklyn is clamoring for...
Do you know some hipster like
For the
Bed-Stuy
recipe.
is just Googling hard, okay, what was Dali using?
He must have used something just come, you know? It's, they say he's gay.
They say he
might
was
be
gay or impotent.
Or- yeah.
So that's where a lot of this gets a little confusing here, is because in this article they mention that he was married, then got divorced and remarried the same woman. And they claimed a lot of his friends had reports that he was a virgin when he got married, and that masturbation was his only, if not near only, source of sexual release. So he liked to watch his wife get fucked by other dudes. I probably could have said that much nicer.
Yeah.
But
He was into cuckolding. He was a cuck.
not cuddling, cuckolding.
No.
Big difference.
Not into cuddling at all.
He just waited till them to come. All right,
Don't
you get out of here.
hug
I'm
me,
gonna
Gala. You're squishing my mustache.
This must remain perfect for reasons you don't even know. So
You know what that makes me think is that he just did his mustache once. And it just
It
was
just
like
stayed
that
like
his
that the
whole
entire
life.
time?
And he's like, I can't make it stop, so it's my thing now.
it would never come off.
No,
though.
it's like, God damn it.
It actually
The
stopped
genie
growing.
gave me the... Yeah, it stopped. He stunted all mustache growth, and it just was permanently locked into place. And he's like, well, I better get famous, so this is going to be weird.
I better start painting some weird ass paintings.
Oh, man. But yeah, there was rumor that he had an affair with a poet.
A Spanish poet, Federico Garcia Lorca. Federico Garcia Lorca.
Mm-hmm.
Or Federico Garcia Lorca.
Frederico. Yep,
Federico.
that's it.
Federico.
That sounds like a company.
Hi,
Come
welcome
on
to
down
Federico.
to Frederico.
What do you sell? Tools.
Of course I do. Your name's Frederick.
The only thing you can do is tools.
Unless it's Friedrich, then it's not tools at all.
Well, it's still tools, but
Well, yeah, you're a tool for sure.
just not something you can fix shit with.
It's like Sound of Music.
So
It is a little tool.
if Abel is correct,
Abel's the daughter.
Abel's the daughter. If she is in fact his daughter, then she stands to gain up to a quarter of his $300 million estate. So that would be about $75, $80 million.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. She also gets a third of the mustache, which is pretty cool. Keep it in a locket. You can hand that down to all of your children. It will never decompose.
Oh man, yeah.
gross.
Oh god. Although I mean, for that much money, $80 million, I would for sure
Dig up an old famous
fuck
guy?
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's my dad.
He's dead. He's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I don't understand.
As long as his mustache, he probably wanted this to happen just so he could be like, yeah, for real. Look at how dope this mustache is.
Hey, like if they hadn't, the like Salvador Dali Association or whatever,
Yes.
they were so mad.
Oh, they're getting pissed.
They were like, "Do not dig him up."
yes.
But to see his mustache,
They must be like, all right, that's
worth
fair.
it, worth it. Disturbing the dead, worth it.
Now
'Cause he looks fierce.
There's that mustache on point. Snap.
literally. Oh,
They are. They said too. So they did. They put up a fierce fight, and they said the group of Dali that the foundation of Dali.
Right. That just sounds like a cult.
The group of
Dali.
Here in Frederico.
We're not good with names. We decided group.
Because we're a group.
We're a group.
And we like Dali. So, group of Dali.
We thought about Dali group.
We wanted more words.
People thought that we were into dolls, and we're not. We are not the Dali group. We are men. We do not like dolls.
They are going to sue her if this does not come up
right
positive.
Yeah. Well, how is she supposed to know who her mom fucked?
Right? Her mom's probably a whore.
I try and avoid that information.
Yeah. If she's hanging around rich people, then she's probably
if
fucked
she
a
had
bunch of
maybe
people.
like
She's got a list of like famous. Well, if it's not him, it might be Rod Stewart.
Going around Spain digging up dead famous people. He's my dad. No, I swear.
I promise. No. Okay.
No. This time.
This one I'm sure of. I'm positive. I know it this time.
God, I mean, what a weird lie though for her mom to tell her. To be like, oh yeah, your father is Salvador Dali. I fucked a famously weird gay guy.
I would have loved.
He might have been bi.
I would have loved if it was a way for her to like hold something over her daughter's head, like you're better than this. You're Dali's.
Her whole life.
Your whole life. Why aren't you a better painter? You're his daughter. Sing better.
She isn't a painter, but she is a tarot card reader.
Yes, I forgot about that. She's a tarot card reader.
Yeah. She's got her own oddities.
You know that she's sitting there like reading tarot cards. It's like, well, I don't know. The cards say the cards verify what my mother said.
Yeah. This guy has a mustache.
I have a mustache. It must be the same.
If he's not my father, why have I been growing out this mustache? That would be crazy. Yeah, she's best of luck to her.
Yeah.
She's a 61-year-old tarot card reader. That would be big news to be like, what are you going to do? Well, if you were 60
and she won that money
and you got $80 million, what would you do?
Quit
tarot card reading.
I would I would quit that immediately.
I would give up my day job.
I would invest in a kilo of cocaine. And I would go spend all of that money until my organs failed. Okay. If I was 60 and got $80 million,
60's not that old. I mean, it's pretty old.
Yeah, but you can make it old if you shit on your body.
For real. I mean, you got $80 million to burn in 20 years.
20 years, yeah. That's a lot of money.
Or Dali was 85, so maybe you got 25 years. That's a life changer.
I could do that. I would buy a boat that's made that's like all like mahogany wood,
you
like those rich old people boats.
in Dali's mustache wax.
No, that would be the front emblem. Would just be Dali's mustache.
Oh, that's cute.
So every time it's coming at you, it's not
called the Salvador Dali.
Ding!
Salvador. Oh, God. Cut that.
Oh, God. I'm for sure leaving that in so everyone can hear that for you. Shit, no, but turn off the podcast.
Don't do it.
Turn off the podcast. Go home. Kick her off. She's done. Oh, God. All right. Well, let's go into our last story here. Our last story today comes to us from Venezuela. Ooh. And apparently there was a woman who was caught attempting to sneak her boyfriend out of prison in a suitcase.
God.
That is true fucking love right there.
What an Acme plan. Like
Wile E. Coyote. Special delivery.
Yeah, like, and she rolled this suitcase in. She's like, they're for my daughter's toys. Like, they're full of my daughter's toys.
It's this pink roll-away suitcase.
Hardcover suitcase, too. Not easy to fit a person in.
Nope. And if you look at the picture, which is going to be, which this link is attached to the description here. And by the way, this story ran on time.com.
Oh, man.
So Time picked this shit up.
Why wouldn't they?
Her boyfriend, Jose Garcia is serving a 10-year prison sentence for car robbery, and they
Is car robbery?
That's what they said here, so it'd be Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
but it's in Venezuela.
Does he steal cars or does he steal stuff out of cars?
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know. If you can break into cars, I guess you're stealing.
He's
cars.
pretty tiny.
He's a pretty little guy.
He's a very small human.
He fits like that. Is a Spirit carry-on, and he fit inside it.
And Spirit has the smallest of carry-ons.
They do, and you have to pay $80 for it. It's such a nightmare. I carried on a bag, and I was flying Spirit, and I was like, I don't need a bag, and then I was like, I need a bag. You need to buy it, and I spent $80 to carry my bag back and forth. Yep.
See, here's what I always did, because I flew a bunch of Frontier, like last year. I flew them a whole bunch. And the trick that I found is that you just, unless you're in Austin, Texas, because they are the only ones that fucked me over. You just put it on your other shoulder and just walk in like you own the place.
Yeah.
And they're like, and most times they won't stop you because they don't want to have an argument. Because
Right.
they know if they're going to try to charge you $40, $50, $60 for a carry-on, they're going to get a fucking argument.
Right.
And they're like, I just don't want to deal with it. It's
Right.
fine. Whatever, have it. So I've gotten on every time with I've even gone with a
Spirit
backpack
Airlines.
and a carry-on.
Fine.
Yeah, right. Is that my only choice? Fuck.
Spirit
Okay.
Airlines. Spirit Airlines. I can't say that.
Hi, welcome to Spirit. Fuck you. Take any seat, sir. We will charge you for a sip of water, and we charge you by the breath.
Oh, yeah.
You only get
The
186
oxygen max,
breaths.
drop it down.
We are counting how many times you inhale and exhale, and we will charge your card at the end of the flight.
God.
Hey, but it was a $19 flight.
It was real
It
cheap.
was $19.
It cost me.
I mean, sure, at the end of it, it was $432,
Right.
but
We're on a budget. We understand that.
we all have corners to cut.
If you can only afford $20 to fly, you're going to pay for your air.
I would love to see if someone reads this story. See, because if you look at the picture here, the guy is packed into the suitcase
Yeah.
rather well. Like, he's like, if you ever get a chance to go to Boulder, Colorado, there's a guy on the Pearl Street Mall that can fold himself into a box.
Sure, like a contortionist.
Yeah, yes, he looks like that in
He
this
does.
picture.
He must have been practicing.
He's
in prison.
doing yoga. He's got a lot of time.
They're like, dude, why do you keep folding yourself up into a perfect rectangle?
And I love the picture, too, because it looks like they made him go back into the suitcase after they discovered
Yeah.
him just to take the picture. Because the picture of it, he's like, oh, God damn it, this sucks. And there's, like, clothes around him and shit like that. I would love if someone was like, well, I don't want to buy another flight, so I'm just going to put my buddy in this. And actually try to do it. I
fit.
could see this.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you can lift him above your head into the overhead compartment, you're fine. But that was the issue, right? That's how they found her?
It was super heavy because she had brought all of his toys, and she began to push this, and she was having trouble pushing the luggage, which is
Damn.
I mean,
your daughter's toys are heavy.
yeah, right. And she's tiny too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why you send your cousin in or something like that.
Yeah, you can't have your weakling
Little wife.
lady. Yeah, I mean, they're like, they won't suspect me, I guess. But
So
if he's practicing to get folded up into a suitcase, you got to go to the gym. You have to be able to drag your husband.
this is a 2-person operation here.
You have to put in the work. It's not, love is work.
Do you want him free or not? Do you want this or not?
Also, what was the plan after?
When she has to get him in the trunk.
To put him in the trunk, to get, you're still, I mean, I guess you're a fugitive in Venezuela. But like,
There are worse things.
there are worse things, but not a lot of worse
Nope.
things.
Nope, because I feel like when you get caught, they're like, oh, you're going down.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't fuck around in
No.
Venezuela.
I don't think so. I don't know anything about the legal system in Venezuela. This is based entirely on prejudice. But I'm pretty sure Venezuela don't fuck around with fugitives.
I mean, you've been wrong before, but
I
I think this is correct, though.
I'm pretty sure.
So after they discovered him, they escorted him back to his cell while his wife got arrested. And then their daughter was taken into custody by social services.
Luckily, it's a co-ed prison, so they can hang out together
Yeah, call back.
all the way to the beginning. Can she do it?
Oh, touchdown, Rachel Weeks. It's good. Yo!
Yeah, it's
Oh man, what a
that's
great
real
story.
bummer.
What a great story. Well, that's going to do it for today, everybody. That was our show. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me on.
It was
It's always
very,
fun.
very fun. This show, I am not, at this point in time, I'm pretty backed up with how many episodes I have on stack, so I don't know when this is going to come out. But do you have anything that you want to pump, or any Instagram, Twitters you want people to follow?
Sure. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm Rachel G Weeks. G like the letter.
Got it.
And I'm a part of a comedy group called the Pussy Bros.
Pussy Bros.
In Denver. We're real fun. We run 2 shows, one on the first Friday and another one that has been on the second Monday, but it is moving to last Saturday. Big move. We're very excited.
Gotcha. Now, and both the first Friday and the last Saturday are both monthlies?
Yes.
Where
They're
are they
both
at?
in Denver. The first Friday is at the Comedy Room in Lodo, and then the last Saturday is at Rackhouse Pub
Boom.
in Rhino.
Perfect. How you like it there?
It's great, man.
Rackhouse?
They're so supportive and
That's
awesome. We've had a really great time, and we're doing.
Is it a brewery or just a pub?
It's a brewery, so
Okay.
they do their own beer and they do their own cider, and they also
Nice.
have really good food.
Dope.
They've got like a 4 or 5 cheese macaroni that'll have you backed up for
Yeah,
weeks.
that's my favorite.
It's great. It's super fun. They've been really great to us.
Nice.
We're having a cool Halloween party, actually. That's a fun thing to plug. We're doing a Halloween party on October 27th. We'll have music, and it's $10 to get in. You get a free drink, and there's music and a comedy show.
Mike Lebovitz.
Which is headlining.
Dope.
Yeah, it's going to be
Dope.
super rad.
I love Mike Lebovitz.
He's the best.
Cool. Well, make sure you follow our guest host today, Rachel Weeks, on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel G Weeks. Check out their shows with the Pussy Brothers, which is Rachel, Janae Burris, and Christy Buckley, called, and that's that first Friday every month at Comedy Room in El Chorrito in downtown Denver. And then last Saturday of the month, Rackhouse Pub in Rhino in Denver as well. Be sure to follow us, facebook.com/Infauxmation. Share this with your friends. If you find any hilarious stories, be sure to send them to us to the Facebook page, or you can just send them to infauxmation.news@gmail.com, and we will read them live on the show for you. And by live, I mean live when we actually record it, and then it's played back later. Very not live.
So not live.
So not live at all. But make sure you send that to us. If you were around any of these stories, or you know more about this information, please hit me up. I would love to talk to you about it. Thank you again, and big thanks to Sexpot Comedy for helping us put this show out in the ether every single week. We love you guys. Be sure to check out their stuff at sexpotcomedy.com. And that has been our show, everyone. I hope you've had a fantastic day, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night, everybody. Good night.